is arguing with your girl gonna do this to you the most. Like niggas broke niggas and your girl and your mama, who ain't never got a man, is gonna do this to you the most. Because these people are investing in you not really being that good. Like quiet as kept, for the most part, no one really wants success. People want some of the things that come with success. People have a sugar baby mindset for pretty much everything. But anyway, far disrespect, right? So black men in general, for the most part, are raised to think that being disrespected or being dissed or being made to feel like what you are and who you are and what you create is not good enough. That's a cultural thing. That's what we do as a motherfucking culture. You understand? So I was listening. Now, I don't really listen to this podcast really anymore. I kind of outgrew it, I guess. But I listen here and there, and I understand. Listen, they doing content, and they're not here to have a fair conversation. All right, they're having a different kind of conversation, and but I don't like this premise of. So I'm sorry. So the title of the video is Joe Budden. Joe Budden thinks that Drake is in his villain era. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the audio. Give me a second. So before we get into this, right? So again, the video is basically about them talking about Drake's villain arc, and what they start getting into is this fake tough guy. I think he's gonna fail because he's acting like basically what they're all saying is Drake should never speak up and act masculine because you didn't grow up in the street, or because you haven't been to jail before, because you haven't been in trouble with the law. Basically, all black men who haven't gang banged or gone to jail or have a history of successfully crashing out should never. Because basically, what these niggas are saying is threatening someone who disrespected you. All right. Is only reserved for the Pookies and Ray Rays. And again, this is where that hierarchy comes in. I'm sorry, and dark skin niggas. Now, dark skin nigga. Now again, so what they was reacting to was also that basically the little altercation Drake had in Toronto, where someone called him a pussy. You know what I'm saying? And that nigga pulled up and said, "What's up?" And what they're trying to do, first and foremost, it was hard for me to accept this shit. I'm saying it wasn't until I went and lived life a little more that I could accept. Okay, it makes perfect sense that Joe Budden would be a Drake hater. Yeah, again, you got to realize, especially for rappers in particular. For rappers, when you're around an artist that's way better than you, for the most part, it's like y'all have a cuck bull relationship. All right, except depending on what level that nigga's on, when he's begging your girl. He doesn't know you're there in the cuck chair. He doesn't even see you in the cuck chair. That's the level that you vibrate off of him. Whereas as the cuck, you are more aware of the situation than he is. Your perspective is totally different. That's when you're the winner. That's the difference in your perspectives. You understand me? Let me make sure I'm on the right mic. Pause. Okay. Here we go. All right, we're doing okay. Let's turn on the. I feel like the mic is not as loud if I don't have the mixer open. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just play this real quick, man.
Look like fully into it.
See, that's the right question, but that's what I'm scared of. I'll tell you that.
Wait, what you say? What?
Fair use.
He's no longer trying to be the favorite.
No longer trying to appease to the people. No longer trying to appease anybody.
Trying to be the golden child to everybody. I was trying to be cool with the label.
I gave y'all all of this,
and this is how y'all look at me now. Okay, so now it's fuck y'all. And I'm really. I was the biracial Canadian kid that looked up to y'all niggas.
Okay, the villain arc.
You know what I'm saying? And I came down
Well,
here.
fold that up right now.
And now I see what y'all
Fold it. Fold. And see, fold that up right now shit is what I'm afraid of. To me, the villain arc in him is, I agree with y'all, but it's like, to me, the way it's going to sound is a whole lot of bitching.
I was going to say.
It's still going to sound like whining and complaining and fake tough guy shit.
This is Mark Lamont Hill talking. That's Mark Lamont Hill talking. And I'm not saying he's a punk, right? But again, that proves the point. He will be so offended at the idea that I think that he should tolerate disrespect. He will be so offended at the idea of me commenting basically that, yo, you shouldn't speak up for yourself. You shouldn't let niggas know not to play with you. Because that's basically what you're saying. But again, where does that come from? That comes from the fact that, yo, we have a hierarchy in the black community. The top of the hierarchy is old black chicks, black women, little black girls, little black boys, black men, and then within black men, dark skinned niggas at the very top as far as like privilege and just getting as far as like privilege goes, and as far as like respect and privilege, like they just get away with whatever. They get away with hating, they get away with being corny, they get away with being treacherous, they get away with just being a criminal. Everything like we anything dark skinned niggas do, niggas just respect it. Like this shit that yo Push and Kendrick, yo, y'all niggas let these niggas have. First of all, Kendrick's your whole press run is about, I'm this guy's biggest hater. And again, that makes sense. Y'all hate winners anyway. The first record is basically, if you think about what he's saying, a part of a diss record, right, is making a good point. But you gotta realize that when Push is rapping, when Kendrick was rapping versus Drake, it was more like, all right, we finally got someone who's a little more of a loser like me. Right? He's more of a loser like I am, so I relate to him more and I believe him more. And the other thing I believe, I'm not even into that because that's not what I'm listening for. I'm listening to whether or not I think that shit is fire. Because with anything else, we can make a fair judgment based off of how efficient or how much we enjoy some shit. Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody going to hate on you more than a rapper. But I'm going back to the fact that that's Martin Lamont Hill saying, that's what I'm afraid of. That's what you were afraid of. I feel like, yo, most of the arguments that you niggas have made about the Drake and Kendrick beef or about how Drake should move has been about basically, hey, I think he should be cowardly. I think he need to just put his hands up and say, hey, man, let's be cool here. I don't want no trouble, cause again, that's that slave mentality. Nigga, that's how your mama raised you. That's how your mama raised you, nigga. Attorney Dennis Sperling, he made a really good point about why black men, you're a lot more passive than you think you are. You're very fucking passive. You're literally only violent against other black boys and men, or you're mostly violent against them, and you have an innate fear of non-black people. You have an innate disrespect for non-black people. All of us do it. Gotta be careful out here. It gets tricky, baby. Hold on. What? Here we go.
Baby.
Hold on. Something going on my signal, man. This shit taking so long to sync up.
They never had. Come and get me, baby. Had my back.
All right, it's faster. Okay.
They never
had my back.
He told me how much he wants to.
All right, go back to the conversation, right? So, again, I'm gonna keep making this point, so I'm sorry if I'm going off subject. When you deal with people who are hating on you, first of all, it's a different kind of treatment. It can be very covert because it's always expressed as if it's some kind of concern or some kind of care. All right, you got to be able to read in between the lines. All for the most part, in so many words, said, "Yo, you a bitch ass light skinned nigga." Listen, and I know. Listen. I'm not gonna lie. I'm biased on the subject. Listen, I'm human. Shout out to the coffee. And shout out to homeboy who said my video is terrible. The video I did on Cardi B is terrible. Yo. Anyway, I ain't gonna. We'll stay on subject. So, disrespect, right? So, let's go ahead and play some more of this shit.
See, I think that's fire. Because when he does it and tries to really sound like a mob boss is when I think it goes bad for him. Like all of that, I'll cut your finger off and send it to your mom. I'll have your tongue cut out your fucking mouth. All of that shit is when you're trying to, like, dog, stop. We seen Degrassi. But when it sounds like this,
You're an asshole.
we did see Degrassi. Well, I know we didn't, but I know what happened to you. We saw that one clip.
Why do we use that as an example of people that did things in the past? Nigga, Game did shit in the past. Nigga, look how he is. Like, there's some niggas that could do shit and then before they got on, and still be tough. It'll be real.
What a Game do?
The
what was
game
that TV
show,
The game
yeah,
show
the
with
TV
tongue
show.
ring
It's-
and-
The game was also a stripper. Like he was a dancer before this. All right, this nigga was on a few reality TV shows actually. Then he had his. I feel like then he had his own reality TV show. I think it was for the love of the game. Shit was crazy. You understand? But anywho, and I get it, man. They just doing content, but like, come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Of all people, right? Who should be talking, fam? Joe, you are the one. You are one of those people who have been punched on camera. And I never look, when Consequence suck, he did sucker punch Joe. All right. And it wasn't really no scuffle, nigga. They got into it. You know what I'm saying? They was getting into it and shit, right? When you got into it with Raekwon's man and whatnot, I didn't understand why you didn't fight Raekwon's man. Where that story went was he punched you in your eye so hard that you just said, fuck it. I always wondered, why wasn't there a rumble after he punched you in your eye? And also, why did he have to punch you in your eye? Because of your rap opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, all Joe was saying, niggas' respect for Joe was so low in the game that a nigga punched Joe Budden in the eye because Joe thought he should rank higher than Method Man in terms of skill and ability on the top 50 of hip-hop. And Joe was just trying to battle rap. He's trying to battle, and somehow these niggas is live streaming, and like Raekwon comes sit down and question Joe about that shit, and then Raekwon man just come and punch Joe in the eye. But again, we don't always talk about that. Cause you gotta be fair. Like, yo, you ain't know he's gonna punch you in the eye. I think you should have fought back. You know what I mean? But again, if anything, and this is what's weird, what they're all arguing is that basically let niggas play with you, and you should have an image of niggas can play with you. The person you should be, right, is the person that niggas can play with. Ain't that wild? And why is that? Because other black men they honestly think that there are certain rules for you. For the most part, people love to limit the expression of black men, right? And the celebration of other black men. It's another instance where you niggas prove that you do know Drake is black because you treat him like a nigga right now. You finding every way to hate on this nigga. You saying speaking up for yourself, you don't do that. If you do have power and you got going, first of all, can y'all please give me all the instances? Can someone send me the links where niggas is pressing Drake? Can someone send me the links where Drake is getting beat up on camera? Can someone send me the link of the nigga saying that, yo, I did this to Drake, did that to Drake? Who did? Hold on. Where's my soundboard? Hold on. I'm just saying.
Niggas.
I cried laughing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to stay away from these niggas.
You understand? Shoot.
Thank goodness you've had your surgery.
We're good to go.
Y'all niggas is weird, man. All right, man. It's, hold on, why it's not doing it?
Trying to criticize him for being.
I didn't think that meant that he can't be tough.
People tried to use that. Okay, not you, but people did try to use that.
I started it. He can't
So why
be
you just
tough.
said?
Fun fact. Joe Budden and the game actually beefed at one point, and they actually went at it like twice on wax and whatnot. And he just admitted, yo, I started that shit. And actually, he might have. That's the other thing too. When you was beefing with Ransom, you know what I'm saying? You had to come on camera and say, yo, the beef is dead. Let's leave this shit alone. Because Ransom and them came to your cousin's house and got it on camera. Bro, that's wild, bro. I'm just saying, and I guess they doing content. But, yo, I don't like that, bro. I don't like that, bro. I don't like it, bro.
Heat of the battle.
Why you tricking me with your words?
I'm saying that was one incident. 25 years ago, or however long it was. Yeah, hey, you did the game show, nigga, you a pussy. Yeah. But today, you can still be very much tough and do a game show. Drake is not looked at. Drake is not looked at like that from just one or two incidents. It's the whole background. You grew up. If you was acting at 9 and 10 and 11, or however old you were, then it's assumed that your Jewish family did all right, was breeding you up since you weren't. There wasn't and even when Game did that, there was the story of what his brother was into.
That's a fact.
What his niggas was into.
That's a fact. You're right.
So Drake never had that. So we assume it's Degrassi and okay.
Yeah, but then he gets
in
some
private
bread.
school.
But now you get you some bread and you surround yourself with niggas that do that, and you really start moving that way.
And I really could get your finger off.
Yeah, I really can get you fucked up.
Your tongue cut up.
And I might have got a couple niggas fucked up, so I know I could do it. And I'm extra braggadocious about it. I'm extra confident in what I can do.
Cool, but niggas will still never.
But here, and that's the thing. That's the argument right there. That's the only thing that matters. I saw a clip. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that clip for y'all real quick. I saw a clip earlier, right? With it's an old vintage interview with President Trump, right? And what I saw in that interview showed me that, you know what? A lot of you have a weird idea of what you think winning is. And I've just come to understand that, again, through feminine leadership, through y'all listening to women so much to the point where men don't even have minds of their own. Men don't live for themselves whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Men, for the most part, they whole dream for the most part is to get enough money to give it all away to their family, or get enough money to give it to everyone. Which I'm not mad at, but that's just the love of men. But my thing is always that I'm not going to allow anyone to make men feel as though the things they do don't matter and it's just as you should. Nah, fuck that. You know, we're gonna show appreciation for people who do the right thing. All right, I did not save that. I think I recorded it though. Fuck it. But let me go get back to my point. My point being is, so there was a video with President Trump, and he's being interviewed by I think it was Barbara Walters maybe. So basically, she's like trying to like have a gotcha moment. She's not really having a genuine conversation. The conversation is trying to basically say, who do you think you are, Mr. Rich Handsome Man? Because the conversation was all about trying to break him down or trying to point out his faults, and it's like, why would this matter if you think that's a human being, right? And she gets into the bankruptcies and some of his financial failures. But even at that moment, even in the financial failure, he was still 100 times richer than the woman that's questioning him, right? And so she's talking about the bankruptcies and whatnot, and you look all throughout the comments, right? And you see all these comments that people, matter of fact, might be in my threads. All these comments that people left, and people are saying, "Oh yeah, he's always been delusional," and just trying to bring the president down to the lowest level possible. You know what I'm saying? All while not looking at what the facts are, bro. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Here we go right here.
I see the deal as a great victory. Eventually, the rest of the world will too.
Fair
Being
use.
on the verge of bankruptcy, being bailed out by the banks, skating on thin ice and almost drowning, that's a businessman to be admired.
You say on the verge of bankruptcy, Barbara, and you talk on the verge, and you listen to what people are
I talk to
saying.
your bankers.
Well, that's fine. And what do they say? I mean, depending on which bank you're talking to, what do they
The
say?
only way you even have a chance is by selling that property out there totally in the plaza.
Well, I don't know what the bankers have said. The plaza's a very valuable property. Everybody told me, oh, you paid too much, you paid too much. Now they're all saying, what a great deal you made
No,
on
they
the
don't.
plaza.
You write in your book. My bankers and I worked out a terrific deal that allows me to come out stronger than ever. I see the deal as a great victory. Eventually, the rest of the world will too. Being on the verge of bankruptcy, being bailed out by the banks, skating on thin ice and almost drowning, that's a businessman to be admired.
You say on the verge of bankruptcy, Barbara, and you talk.
And here's the thing about that whole conversation. And we're gonna leave that shit right there. We'll leave it right there. Oh, I think because of the rain, it's messing my signal up. What's this saying? Hold on, y'all. Close the window, right? Anyway, so that conversation was so, it's like a direct parallel to what how men think now. So like that wasn't a constructive conversation. She didn't actually cite her sources or actually get into any specifics. Her point was, you failed before. You've taken losses before. She took what probably was a positive. Basically, it was a deal that him and his ex-wife worked out. What she was trying to say was, there is no good deal that could be made with you. Okay, there's no way that any of this is real. Basically, you're a bad guy. You're a bad man. But even at that point, first of all, that's coming from someone who's never been in his position or been under that same kind of pressure. Not only that, which I gotta realize too, is that men, you gotta, first of all, you gotta watch who you take critiques from. That's critiquing is some serious shit, man. You can't just let everybody critique you and tell you they thoughts and opinions and take everybody's thoughts in, okay? Because the thing is that at the end of the day, you're the man in the arena. You're in charge, especially if you're a father. That's my new theme. If you a father, or if you the man of the house, you the man of the house and you daddy. What you got messed up is, no, you're her daddy too. She's not her own person. When a man is in a relationship, he becomes the man in her life, and basically you have the same responsibilities as a father for the rest of her life. Another reason why it's like, yo, real talk, if you a nigga that's trying to get some money, if you want to have some money later on in life and whatnot, go ahead and just stick it out. Because you're going to wind up in the same place regardless, and it's not worth the stress. Especially given that, I'm like, yo, now that Coach Greg has opened my mind up to the marketplace, I'm like, you know what? Shit, I'm like, I can go online and just peruse, and and just look at these prices, and say, you know what, that's worth $300. I'll pay $500 for that. Right to my like you always say, right to your door. And I'm like, on top of that, it's gonna be a pleasant experience. She's gonna be cool, and then after that, she's gonna go. You understand? Versus, shit. Every time this girl period come around, you got walk on eggshells. Well, her, you don't never gotta be around on the period. You know what I'm saying? You just, I'll see you next month. You know what I'm saying? I owe you one. You know what I mean?
Abel, you was waiting.
Wait, hold on, y'all. See if I can close up some of my windows I got open. Cause I don't know why it's so slow. Cause that's on hit my button and everything. But anyway, I'm about to open this joint up again. All right, we back, man. So yeah, bro. I saw a pretty interesting clip. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's move on. I saw an interesting post yesterday about respect and how to kill disrespect, right? Let's check it out together, all right? I think this is educational, all right? We don't just laugh and play on the Six Paths TV channel. We learn and become better people. All right, check it out. This is from Advice on Top. Really cool page. It says how to kill disrespect. When they say no in front of others just to show dominance, say, honestly, I expected that from you. Watch their ego go crumbling. When someone disrespects you in front of others, say, you bring a lot of noise, but not much value. When they yell to prove a lie, say, you're proof that being loud doesn't make it true. When they put you down just to feel better, say, you always need to be right, even when you're not. Sounds polite. Feels like a punch. All right. Now that's one of the more light ones, but I think this is the shit right here that y'all need to see. A lot of y'all, and again, I've been so in my mode, I'm so in my own mind that I really have not realized where a lot. Let me make sure my mic is right. Hold on, y'all. I have not realized where a lot of you men are emotionally and mentally. I'm like, God damn. I had a conversation with my guy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen him in a minute, man. So he been booed up and whatnot. And I'm like, damn, bro, you got so many things you need to accomplish and need to do, and rather than accomplish those things or put all your energy into that, you got booed up, and again, a lot of y'all, most men don't get into relationships for the right reasons. They will mostly get into relationships or want to get into a relationship inherently because, especially if you're an ambitious guy or a creative. They want to get into a relationship or they want to talk about certain things and get into broke nigga activities and broke nigga subjects because they want to distract themselves from doing that personal work. You can't deal with, you can't be, and some of y'all listen, especially if you're an emotional dude, you can't be alone for too long. You can't be alone with your own thoughts. You need to talk to somebody. You need to tell someone how you feel. Someone out there needs to know what's going on with you. Right? Shout out to Angry Man. I forget what the episode was about, but he was talking about the importance of a man and his solitude and his time alone. And he was saying one of the things he said was, your strength is in your solitude. Men need time of silence and times of reflection in order to fully recover from the previous day or to fully be ready to do what they have to do. Living by myself has been one of the best things for me mentally because I've leveled up so much. Doing this content shit was just a thought. I talked about it for a long time and now I'm really doing it. Now people leave me mean comments on my YouTube page all day long. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Hold on, let me, what?
Somebody I love in the bricks.
Nah, it's too late, man.
Donations.
That's what I gotta do. I gotta hit it twice.
You think I have somebody I love in the
bricks? I gotta hit it twice. That's what I gotta do to make it go faster. Okay. But anywho, all right, man. We go ahead and get these potatoes out the oven, man. But I'm sorry. Oh, no. My bad. Disrespect. All right. Let's keep it here. A lot of y'all have this. If you a winner, you'll go through this. Only a man responds with action, and that's not thing about you men too. You rather stay in the subjective part of the conversation and just talk about your opinions and how you feel. And as men, you always need, the conversation needs to always be about the action at some point. It's something different if a tragedy strikes, something unexpected happens. But when you get into a funk or alter, whatever it is, right? Yo, I want to hear about some action. I can't keep listening to, because I had a conversation with some friends. And I had to realize, like, goddamn, he just want to talk to me about how you feel about the shit. He doesn't actually want to fix it. The same as when you talk to a woman. Women don't always want their problems to be solved. Shout out to Crimson Cure. She made that point about sometimes when women are talking about things, they're at the point where they just kind of want to express themselves about it. They don't necessarily want their problem solved yet, as of yet. You understand? But anyway, let's focus. This is good work here. The second phase, I miss her. So you see her, the new guy, right? My man is focused. What you don't see, what the young guy don't see, especially if you're a young guy, if you're not focused, this guy right here, all his time that he could be putting into himself is going to her. Okay? He has to give her at least about 10 hours of time a week. We just focus on her at least. He got to be on the phone with her for about 45 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour a day. So that could be 3 to 7 hours a week. Boom. If y'all hang out a few times a week, that's about 3 to 4 hours. 12. Boom. It's already getting up there. Okay. Next. Now he got the Wolf of Wall Street suit on. He did a bump of coke. Okay, and that's why they looking at him like that, because like, goddamn, it's a clean ass suit. And what's that residue around your nose, sir? And he says, I don't care now because I just did my bump. And now he's hopping into the Porsche. All right, and he's by himself. And let me tell you something. That is the best position to be in. That's a myth. That your life, that a man's life ain't shit if he not sharing it with a bunch of people. You know what I mean? Like, even when shout out to CJ, people make that not excuse, but they'll say, "Oh, you make more money as a married man." Yeah, you got to, fam. I'm not living under the stress of I'm going to give you everything I could possibly give you, just for you to probably most definitely pull the plug on our sweet love at some time. No. Feel me? Stay focused. A lot of y'all men, especially black men, especially Western men, you think your salvation is in that woman. You think your happiness is in that woman. You think the validation is in that woman. And that's also why you can't even choose women who like you. Not a likable person. whenever men don't work on being manly and they mad, first of all, you suffer mentally. The happiest women are women who work on being happy and smile a lot, and because that takes effort, smiling a lot, being pleasant, being patient. Those are feminine, true feminine, or positive feminine qualities, right? And these are things. Those are her strengths: being patient, being understanding, being kind, and trying to be helpful. All right. On a regular basis, all day, every day. Not sometimes, not when you're in a good mood, not the way a child does. Because for the most part, real talk, whenever, y'all think black men got to realize too, when people are dealing with y'all, they're looking for y'all to bug the fuck out. They're looking for y'all to wild out. They're expecting y'all to be unreasonable. You know what I mean? They're not looking, they're on edge. You understand? But anywho, but going back to the whole focus thing, right? And that's what, having a lifetime of tolerating people's disrespect, basically covert abuse, all right, non-physical abuse, that will wear down on you. And again, that is time consuming. And it's again, your productivity, your growth is like a runway, right? And the more positive the space is, the more room you have to speed up and for the plane to take off, right? But for most people, because of the people in your life, your runway is about 1/4 of what it should be, and you can never fully take off, right? Because you ain't got enough runway, you ain't got enough room. Negativity crowds you, and then death becomes you. Okay, no disrespect. 2025. What's going on? Oh man, my signal not good today. Oh, criminy. Maybe it's the Twitter X. I don't like that, man. I don't like that at all. All right, let's take a quick break, man. Oh my back. Oh no. I don't like that at all.
We back, y'all. We back. Can y'all see? Oh, say, can you see? So anyway, shout out to Meg Thee Stallion. So here we go. So Meg Thee Stallion's going out with Klay Thompson. Shout out to Klay Thompson. But I wanted to get into this in a comment on Twitter. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch this video real quick. Check it out.
I hope that my Labubu's is not haunted because I heard y'all saying that Labubu's is haunted on TikTok. Beat you loud and hoe. My Labubu better not be haunted, bitch, or I'm sending that hoe to hell. I'm sending that hoe straight where it came from. I'm too blessed for my Labubu's to be haunted. Look at those teeth. Look at that.
Okay, all right. I mean, let's do this one.
Okay, I'm opening up that my man got me.
Okay, so all right, so that's what I want to get into. All right, so this is her and Klay Thompson. So she's sitting on his lap while she's opening the gifts and whatnot. No drawers on. Actually, she do got makeup on and whatnot, right? So I want to read a few comments off of Twitter. Someone says, sitting on his lap, no face Brazil, opening the gifts he got you. Yes, girl, yes. Someone wrote, why are people upset Klay Thompson is dating Meg? Right? And this girl wrote in response, they're mad men richer than them care less about who the women they date have been with than they do. It probably keeps them up at night for a few months. So I wanted to share this in particular because I want to get into the reason why Meg Thee Stallion is always going to be celebrated and supported by Black women. So y'all gotta understand that. Okay, so what women think is attractive, okay, so things that they think are attractive about men, they think that if they exhibit those same traits, and when other women act masculine and exhibit those same traits, they view it the same way they view the confidence in the man. Because for the most part, again, women like a guy that's like, I shout out to CGA, who's pointing out, women want a little bit of danger. They want the possibility that shit may go left. You know what I mean? That's why the dude who's willing to air it out, the dude who's willing to crash out, the dude who gets really emotional, the guy, you know what I mean? The dude who's fun at the party, right? Because again, guys who are mild-mannered, guys who don't really, do too much, they will look at the situations and not understand, okay, why is she with him or what it is, or they'll just kind of chalk it up to, okay, you're going through a bad boy phase or it's the bad boy thing. But really is to a certain degree, it's about courage, and it's just regular men don't really know how to exude that on a regular basis because most regular men don't really know how to be confident, especially modern men. Modern men have no idea how to be confident. Modern men are not assertive about shit, even down to what kind of women you get. So he asked them why they're upset. If anything, what some men have to get over, and don't get me wrong, to a certain degree, the young lady may be right. But I'm going to say this. Black women have an obsession, not even an obsession, because what this really is that whenever they see a celebrity with a new guy, I guess I had to rush, you know what? To them, this may be a relationship. And listen, they may be calling it that, but for the most part, Klay Thompson is just the guy that she's fucking right now. In Klay Thompson's mind, Meg Thee Stallion, he gets the fucking girl from TV. He gets to smash a girl that's famous. Y'all gotta understand, famous people be wanting that be with other famous people. Most celebrities sleep with the same girls, especially with the advent of the internet and social media and whatnot. A lot of these girls are getting banged by the same dudes. A lot of these good dudes to say, so and so's with her, I want to be with her too. Now it sounds weird to us, but yo, we're not in that world. That was another thing about. I think that was Barbara Walters interviewing Trump. That was another thing about that whole Barbara Walters interview. It's like you talk to him about business, but you've never been in that position. Like, what can you really say about it if that's not really your realm and you're not educated enough? That was at a time where the world had started to become more accustomed and more accepting of women really being nasty. Because she was really being nasty. She wasn't being a journalist, she was being nasty. That interview, what she was doing, she did that interview for the pussified Western male, and she did it for Western women. All right. It was to entertain them, not to actually have a good conversation. All right. Whenever people give you a critique without giving you credit in a way that resonates with you, in a way that's respectful, in a way that's them trying to pour into you or show you respect, that's always an attack. Because people who do shit with care there's never malice in it. If I'm doing something with care, there's never a bit of malice. I could be criticizing. A few years ago, right? One of my teammates, he didn't do too good in the battle. I didn't tell him, I thought you lost clearly. I didn't tell him I thought you was ass and nothing like that. What I said to him was, you know how good old boy can rap. You should have been more prepared than that, or you should have had better material than that. And had you not been on your own home turf, you would have lost super crazy. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, the dude took this angle and he didn't rap with him, but you supposed to have been prepared for that version of him to arrive. And luckily it did, but you still had lost. But I didn't even use the words you lost and this and that. I just said, you supposed to have been more prepared than that, bro. Because it wasn't even about like you not being that good. Like, bro, like the raps weren't good at all. It didn't sound like you tried to level up at all. You understand? So, but again, being as though I was having a conversation, I still was able to get straight to the point and get to the action plan. What needs to change? Not we're trying to make you feel like shit. You understand? But anywho, and another thing men gotta realize is that, and again, I think everyone loves a fantasy, but for the women, she represents the indestructible black woman. Basically, I don't know what to call it, but basically the women that no matter what she does, she can do. Everything could be wrong with her. Meg Thee Stallion has alcohol abuse problems. You understand? She's promiscuous. It's been proven that you're not a good friend. You're not able to maintain relationships. You have not been able to maintain relationships with any man long term. Okay, on top of what the music is about and what the image is, I'm also gonna find out, you got a black man locked up for a lengthy sentence, and not only that, he got attacked brutally in jail because of a lie. We got her on tape now saying, I never got shot in my foot, I cut my foot. And after that incident with Tory Lanez on that fateful night, she has been in countless interviews saying Tory shot me. So she was able to do all that, bro, and she's still here. Gang is still here. Oh my God. So let's see what else we got here, man. Hold on, y'all.
I have somebody I love in the bricks.
All right, man. Let's get to the next part of the show, man. Let's check this joint out right here with Aiden Ross, man. Aiden Ross and Los Polos. I don't know who this nigga is either. All these niggas is rich. Think that the glorious King LeBron James might not be the GOAT after switching up on Drake.
On something. Do you think LeBron James is still the GOAT after being weird to Drake?
Oh man, I don't know why the fuck he did that shit, bro.
For no reason. That's why.
Wait, what exactly did he do?
For no reason. Yo.
He was really supporting that song called Drake.
Yeah. But it wasn't just that first one, it was two of them. Remember Meet the Grams too. It was both.
And then he went to the pop-up.
That's crazy. You're supporting somebody calling your best friend a pedophile.
Yeah, that's crazy. Even if it's not your best friend in the world, you're still doing it. Just at least be neutral.
Yeah.
You're like some.
Showing something. Do you think?
And here's the thing right here. For a nigga like Drake, in Drake's mind, again, that bull cuck relationship. All niggas in tried to rap before, especially if you play basketball. Do you understand me? That's part of what Beyonce. Come on, man. What?
That's funny with Beyonce.
Okay? All niggas that played basketball before. First of all niggas in general done tried to rap before. They got a 16 somewhere. LeBron got a 16 somewhere. So in Drake's mind, right? In Drake's mind, he's thinking, all right, this is LeBron James. All right. He is the closest to understanding my level of commitment. What the game means to me. All right. Being in the top percent of what you do. All right. Being a prodigy, being in the league at a young age, having the world on your shoulders. He's thinking in his mind, all right, I'm around peers. He understands. He understands what I go through. But what's what Drake don't understand? Bro, when you're not around, his girl want to hear you. Ooh, what?
You think I have somebody I love in the bricks?
His girl want to hear you. She playing on records, bro. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if I had a homeboy who did songs and shit like that, you can't play my home. We're not playing that shit in my house, bro. That's my man's and all that. And that's the weird relationship that Drake has with all black people. Is that even if he not around a girl, that insecurity is still there. Also, again, what niggas got to realize too is that people will sleep on how much somebody may want to be you, right? Or how much somebody might, even people that you feel as though should be your peers and should support you, want to see you lose too. I didn't realize LeBron was at that pop-out. First of all, I never thought about how cool LeBron and Drake was. Drake and LeBron got mad pictures together over the history of their life. You know what I'm saying? They know one of the families and everything. You know what I'm saying? LeBron know Drake's son, right? He's nowhere near, he don't know Kendrick at all. But what that shit was about was nigga shit. Now, you saw how them two white boys talked about that. They was able to get right to the morals. And you know why they was able to have a conversation? Because they're not two black guys trying to win the contest of who's more of a nigga. Who's the realer? Who's the show enough? Who's the realer nigga? They're not trying to have that conversation. They're able to keep the conversation about loyalty, about integrity. I've seen this girl on, and of course, a dark skinned girl. I love my dark skinned girls, but y'all be wilding. And she says, "Oh well, instead of crying about how people betrayed you, how about you don't be the kind of person that can be betrayed?" I'm like, nigga, what? How the fuck does someone have a bad thing happen to them and you basically victim blame? That's another thing. Women are very big on victim blame. It's just a liberal thing to do in general. You know what I'm saying? It's victim blame. Basically say, especially for men, people victim blame the fuck out of men, bro. Which audio, right? Oh, wow.
The fuck, man. Anyway. Yo, I don't understand. Like, when I'm on this browser, it's always changing to my other mic. Pause. Whatever. Anyway, let me check my mic. I hate when it does that, yo. Anyway, because it just ruins the whole soundbite. But, anywho. So, I thought that was interesting, right? Let's go ahead and check out another clip. So, I saw something earlier that I thought was really interesting about, it's for this guy named I Am Punch. but I don't think I'm gonna go there just yet. Not just yet. I think I got like one more point that I wanted to look at before we got there, right? And that's that fatigue, man. That's that fatigue. So black fatigue is really a thing, bro. Black fatigue is really a thing. White folks is getting tired of Negroes just jumping out there. There was multiple people who commented on whether or not Casa Knot should be reviewing or reacting to the Clips album. And like I said before, the Clips, again, I like the Clips because I'm a hip hop nigga. But I understand, I've never looked at them as being a main draw. I've never looked at them as superstars. I never looked at them as ever. They was never on top. They were never big names. They were around. They mostly again. It was like honestly, they're two lucky rappers. Honestly, there's two of the luckiest rappers to ever live, my nigga. You understand? So anywho, so people somehow, being as though Justin Bieber's album came out the same day, right? There were people commenting on the fact that Casa Knot should be reacting to the Clips album. I'm like, bro, the Clips, he doesn't know who the fucking Clips are, right? And Justin Bieber just said, fuck it, I'm good, yo. All right? Yo, check this out. He said, justice is served. Lil Bieber emptied the clip. This is the only album that matters right now. This album was way better than At the Clips. At the Clips is bitter grown men who collect cars, dolls, and shop at Kith and Union. Yo, not Justin Bieber while on the Clips. Like, yo, Justin Bieber said, fuck that, bro. I'm just not doing it today. I'm just not doing it today. Okay? Because you got to realize in black culture, we love to put people who are really popping, people who have really worked hard into the same space as someone who hasn't done any of that shit, or someone who hasn't accomplished any of that shit. Because in the minds of black folks, yo, listen, all niggas is up for review, okay? All niggas can be ridiculed. And it's like, nah, bro, we not doing that no more. And Justin Bieber said, you know what, bro? Because listen, people's already saying that somebody gave him some Kool-Aid and some okra. All right, this is people reacting to real music. This right here is an actual genuine response to liking music, bro.
Shorty, I don't know what got into Justin Bieber, but
Pause.
that album, Swag, somebody gave that nigga some Kool-Aid and some soul food before he got in that boot, boy. Like, I like the production. It had that retro 80s type of vibe, you feel me? Almost like that new age Michael Jackson type swag. But when I say that motherfucker had ultimate soul, like, the first 3 songs was like a warm-up. But once he started...
You see this shit right here? Sir said, put that mayonnaise back in the jar. Giveon new shit is fire. That's what I'm talking about right here. Fam, that racist shit, man. Y'all complain so much about racism, right? And y'all love to champion niggas that so-called speak against the system. But look how y'all fucking talk. That's a nasty thing to say. That's what I mean about black people, yo. We think that it's okay to be nasty to people if it serves our purpose for that moment. Again, the consequences of feminine leadership. If you raised by your mama, the more time you spend with your mother growing up, the more you think it's okay to basically lie. It's okay to go back on a promise. It's okay to leave people hanging. It's okay to do people wrong. It's okay to break. It's everything's okay. All right. I'm just saying, but God, dog. Rather than saying let's celebrate some good music and shit, they ain't talking about Giveon, bro. They talking about the Beepster. They talking about Justin Bieber to go.
Go, baby, it was up from there.
Says you alright, white boy. The craziest thing about this Justice song is that 85% of the audience has never and will never be exposed to to New Jack Swing that inspired it, not Bobby, Noah, or Brown in sight. Alright. Justin Bieber earned his biggest streaming day of all time on Spotify on July 11th with 95.8 million streams following Swag. I can't play the audio. He made everyone think he was crashing out while he was just promoting the album. Something I really love about Justin Bieber's Swag album is how mature it is. It doesn't feel like an artist stuck in the past or artist trying to make TikTok music to issue that a lot of 2010s artists are now struggling with. All right, but I wanted to show that stuff because I want to show you guys a genuine reaction when people really like something, right? And they're really into it. Shout out to the boy, you know what I mean? I don't know who this Negro is, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say Negro, I'm sorry. Do this. Says Drake gifts Kyle a $200,000 Rolex for his birthday in London. Yo, real talk, this nigga be giving out gifts that cost almost $1 million like it ain't nothing, bro. You know how much money you gotta have to give someone a gift that costs $200,000, my boy? That shit crazy. But this is the post from Drake that I wanted to share for today, right? And this is going to be the beginning of seeing this shit change. Okay, first and foremost, Drake is now the rapper with the most monthly listeners on Spotify. He surpasses Kendrick Lamar. Back to regularly scheduled program. What did I miss? The return on investment for Elimination of Drake is in the red. Everyone got exposed as everyone got exposed as just jealous trader beaches. Okay, but hold on, man. I wanted to share a particular. All right, well, it's not here. Where is the John, man? Oh, here we go. Boom. This is from Drake's Graham Right Chair. Okay, says suppressor on the #1 spot. I'm taking that soon. Don't worry. One song or another. Rule changes all. So what did I miss is already at #2 with no promotion, no money into it, then no expensive video, nothing. Y'all niggas was doing blogs last year talking about is it over for Drake? This nigga has done no promo. He has barely put any music out. He put out a joint project with Party Next Door to tie niggas over, right? And show niggas levels at the goddamn Wildest Festival. You understand? I bring this shit up because this is reality. Don't let these losers suck you into this universe, this gaslighting, these lies. Okay? These losers always want you to be a version of yourself that they can defeat. And the challenge is not allowing yourself to become that version of yourself. You understand me? Hold on, yo. Let me make sure I got my audio on. You understand? That analogy comes from Baki. There's a character that uses hypnosis. His name is Kyle Dorian. And he subdues his opponents by hypnotizing them. And in their mind, they think they're still fighting him, but they're fighting a version of him that they can beat. And what happens is they don't know what's going on. And then while they in that hypnosis, he clobbers them. Lights out. They in the bricks. You know what I'm saying? They in the bricks.
I have somebody I love in the bricks.
They in the bricks. Okay? That's what people who hate you want to do. They want you to be a lesser version of yourself. And I'm going to play this one last clip in terms of, I don't like basically other black men telling Drake that you should just be a big old vagina. You should grow a vagina, tuck your tail, and just hope for the best. And it's really shown that a lot of y'all ain't got no heart. You ain't got no balls. What you want to do is survive as safely as possible. You want to keep your hands clean. The reason why them niggas on the Joe Budden podcast said that shit is because they wouldn't do that. They're not able to talk like that. Cause I'm saying, where's all these niggas who stopped Drake from talking how you talking? But shout out to I Am Punch, and this is what we had to say about Jermaine Dupri and why he was wrong about Drake.
Jermaine Dupri was on, I think it was on Joe and Jada, and he he said that Drake needs to just do music that's past it. I think Jermaine Dupri was wrong. I think Drake needs to continue doing what he's doing. I think the best music is the most honest music. I think the best music is the most present tone to everything. And I think Drake is dealing with this in front of everyone's eyes. He's watching people that he rocked out with switch on him. He's watching people that he thought was cool chill with the ops. And Drake feels away. And I think Drake addressing it is the right thing to do, because it's like, this is what's on my mind now. People sometimes feel like they can't connect to Drake because he's so big and so far into his career. And I think that when Drake walks the bars down and the music down in an authentic way, that this is what's going on with me now, I think that's the reason why people are loving it so much. It's because it's like, yo, I know that he's going through that right now. I connect with him. So shout out Jermaine Dupri, he's a GOAT, you know that. But I think he was off from it. He compared it to Jay-Z and Nas being like after Ether came, when everybody felt that Ether had beat Jay-Z. Like I had said on a couple videos back, I said that there's a clear mirror to Ether and Takeover and Not Like Us and Family Man, you know, in the Drake and Kendrick. I said I see the parallels. It's so obvious to me. You know, the people thought Ether beat Hove, and then Jay-Z ended up going on to have a more successful rap career than Nas did. Nas obviously is doing great, you know, business-wise doing great. His Coinbase investment, all of that, you know, everything is just, it's clear as hell. Now, I think Drake personally is just going to continue to make great, super successful music. I think that this is just an example of what Drake is capable of doing, because I never thought he fell off. I felt like that was a lot of marketing dollars and momentum to where that they were just happy that the underdog was taking over to get that spot. All in all, what did I miss? Is this the record that it needs to be? Is this what Drake needed to come back? To where that the masses now can quiet again and put Drake back into that #1 position? Is this the record? I felt like the record was a record that came out and it kind of went under the radar. It was called No Face. So if there's anybody in here right now that has not heard No Face lately, or has not taken the second to really give it a spin, I beg of you, go listen to No Face. I feel like it's one of the most underrated records Drake's probably ever put out in his catalog. I think No Face is amazing. But I felt like No Face was the record, just like What Did I Miss? I think it's more about timing. I think the world is more receptive to Drake. I think Kendrick not rolling out more and more new music has made people look at it and go, man, it's not really connecting the way that it did.
So, the answer is always going to be more work, and keep doing your work, right? Your strength is going to be in protecting your peace, okay? And continuing to do what you do for the right reasons, right? Also, you cannot let people who rank below you, people whom you are better than, have an opinion. One of the reasons why black men also they'll try to be a good sport about this shit, but sometimes certain people need to shut the fuck up. Just keep it a stack. Because when we do that, we open the door to where anyone could talk to anyone crazy. That video I showed you with Barbara Walters trying to wild Trump up, that's crazy, bro. You are a homeless person compared to that guy. You say like you are a journalist. Okay? You don't employ nobody. You do not employ buildings full of people. Are you fucking people who create businesses that where it's a bunch of folks working in for that business and they're on payroll? Those people are feeding families. Barbara Walters ain't fed no families, my G. Okay? It's always about how many people profited and benefited off of what you do. And again, there's always this expectation that black men should eat shit. Especially in America. Because you realize too that this is coming mostly from America. Okay? And you know, it's coming mostly from America. And I think that's why I think it was good for Drake to make that comment about UK rappers. And I'm glad you didn't like it. He know what he doing. I've heard niggas say over and over again that Drake is a real war strategist. Nothing's by mistake, every detail. Right? I think he know what he doing. That niggas made blogs last year, which I thought sounded crazy. It's all a fantasy. At some point, if you're really great at what you do, you're gonna be in this exact position. You can't let nobody get you off your square, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. We out here, man. I love y'all. Peace. We out.